Very good morning. It is the final day, day 4 of 4 at the African Open Powerlifting Championships. And this is the longest day in Cairo at the Dr. Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall, this increasingly well-known venue in 6th of October in the southwest of the Egyptian capital. It's become very well known for some major sporting events in Africa the past 2 years since it was opened 18 months ago. So this is the field for the men's 72 kilo final, and it is the largest group of the week. So we go into a Group B. So Mohammed Arabi Kamal Ibrahim of Egypt will get us underway with an attempt of 55 kilos. First major championship for him, he's a rookie. Hossam Omar Aminada of Egypt. Gabriel Wanjiku of Kenya. Gabriel Akun Manga Belinga of Cameroon. And Ibrahim Othman of Libya. So that will be Group B. And then Group A. Group A, Richard Lubanza of Zambia. Then for Iraq, it is Mohammed. For Cuba, Yuniel Suarez. For Ghana, Emmanuel Nil Teti Oku. And the heaviest weights, 185 kilos each, for Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Atia, both of Egypt, and they come later in Group A. So those are the 11 who we're seeing here, and we're just about to get underway at 9 a.m. Cairo time. So if you're watching elsewhere, the clocks don't change here, as they have done across a lot of the rest of the world. But then GMT remains the same, and it's the European clocks that change. So approaching 9 a.m. in Cairo, 7 a.m. GMT International Standard Time. Here are the referees for this encounter. And they have been chosen. So referees for this men's 72 kilo final, Yazza Musla of Yemen is the chief referee. Ujema Ajwad of Algeria, the left side referee, and on the right, Anastasios Markis of Greece, and the technical controller, Mahmoud El Shabeni. So these are the officials for this final on the last day. We have the two heaviest weight categories to follow, the up to 107 and over 107. Here's the jury for this decider. Group A, we go all the way up to 185, and that will be very interesting to see a little bit later. Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Atia. These are the men we'll be seeing first. The 5 in Group B, including Mohammed Arabi Kabel Ibrahim, who will be getting onto a major championship stage for the first time. Mahmoud Atia is going very high early on for Egypt. Bonnie Gustin, our world record holder, 230. Donata Teleska, the next gen world record holder. So a really fascinating week it has been. This is the earliest start that we have had, and after the 3 men's finals, this being the first, we go on to the team deciders. That'll be getting underway at around 1:30 in the afternoon Cairo time, 11:30 in the morning GMT. Really well appointed stadium this, which opened its doors in the last year and a half, and which has held World Handball, African Handball Championships and the World Wheelchair Handball Championship. Plus a prime location week after week for the Basketball African League in partnership with NBA Africa. Great location this, have to say, and it's been really very good to be here all week. Excellently appointed stadium, I have to say. There's definitely going to be a lot more big events coming here in years to come. Well, for those 5 who've had their names on screen for the past minute, it will be a tremendous effort to get up among the medalists. Obviously a better chance with the new total lift, which if you've only been joining us for these African Championships this week will be new to you, but they have been at each of the continental events, the regional championships so far this year, and which have given us many first time major championship medals, quite simply because it's consistency that's being rewarded, you might argue, for the first time. Anyway, 40 seconds to go before this competition will get underway, and the last day in Cairo will begin.
The event starts for the Cairo 2022 Africa Open Championship in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you Kamal Mohammed.
So the first two athletes we're going to see are representing Egypt and is their first major championship debut. The first of whom is in the rookie category. Only turned 15 years old last month, did Mohammed Arabi Kamal Ibrahim. So aiming for a new lifetime best of 55. So Mohammed Arabi going for his first attempt, the first out of the 11 competing here.
1 minute remaining.
So he gets himself on major championship stage for the first time, and this for 55. And that is a good lift, and that is a new lifetime best.
That's a good lift for Moss's very own.
So good start for Mohammed Arabi Kamal Ibrahim. And, well, he can always say that he led the African Championship at the age of 15. That was a very good way for him to start, and he'll be continuing and progressing on to 60 in the next round, I can tell you straight away. So that's his debut, off to a very positive start. Let's see the next for Egypt going in the next gen. Hossam Omar Amin Nada, and his attempt at a lifetime best will be at 95. He's 20 years old, and this too, his first major championship. Well, excellent host this week. And of course, being the host nation, they've taken the opportunity of being able to blood through an immense amount of new talent, and maybe only in the case of Mexico for the World Championships 5 years ago have we ever seen so many new faces, new names for a host nation, such a large host team, home team. So 95, and that is a good lift. It is 3 white lights for Hossam Omar Amin Nada. And it is Egypt 1 and 2 straight away.
Squad holders, please load the bar to rack height 13, 135 kilograms.
Well, some really good positivity early on. There have not been very many competitions this week that have actually gone into a Group B.
The bar is now loaded for their first attempt, representing Kenya, Gabriel Magu Wanijiku.
Gabriel Wanjiku coming next for Kenya, and the curiosity is this is his first African Championships, but we have seen him in quite a few other events, including the Americas Open Championships in Bogota 4 years ago. He finished 6th in that. In his 2 appearances at the Commonwealth Games, 7th in Gold Coast in 2018. Prior to that, in Glasgow 4 years earlier, he was 12th. He's been entered for 3 World Championships. Didn't start in Tbilisi last year, which I would take to not actually arriving more than not getting to the venue at the time, although that's become a topic the past couple of months. 7th of the Paralympic Games in Tokyo last year. And he also competed in the Americas Open this year in St. Louis and finished 5th. And that is a good lift. Gabriel Wanjiku, 2-1 in his favour. And that puts him into an early lead. I'll correct the one thing I said. He was actually in a previous African Games in 2015. Finished 5th in that. That was a lift of 135 then and 135 now. Next up for Cameroon, Akun Manga Belinga. And he's going for 140. So Belinga going for 140 in his first major championship, having turned 53 last Monday. Penultimate to go in the opening round in Group B, and this is certainly a good leap up the past couple of lifts we've seen, including this 140 for Akun Manga Belinga to take the lead for Cameroon. And that's a good lift, 2-1 in his favour. And all the lifts so far have been good lifts, and that's just what we all want to see on a Sunday morning, early on a Sunday morning. Again, good lines shown. There are a few things about the press that which are a little bit tentative, but I honestly wouldn't worry about that. So he's cleared that at 140. And now the last to go in this opening round for Libya, Ibrahim Othman, and he too is going for 140. This would be a new lifetime best. He finished 4th at the last African Championships 4 years ago. No mark in his World Championship debut the following year, 2019, in Nur Sultan in Kazakhstan. 22nd in Tbilisi at last year's World Championship, where we went into, certainly in his case, a Group C. 1 or 2 finals, we went into a Group D. 140 for the lead for a new lifetime best for Ibrahim Othman, and that's a good lift. 3 white lights for Othman, and he hits the front alongside Alkan Manga Balinga for Cameroon, and all the lifts so far have been good lifts on this Sunday morning in Cairo. Very impressive execution. Now we'll be looking to do that with much heavier weights potentially, and just about everything we've seen so far has been a lifetime best. Balinga and Othman leading the way in 140. Wanjiku next for Kenya, 135, and then the 2 young men for Egypt making a major championship bow. Mohamed Arabi Kamel Ibrahim, 55 in the first round, going for 60 here, which again would be a new lifetime best. So he started well at the age of 15 with that lift of 55 in the first round, and this for 60.
And to start the second round, we have a good.
He didn't seem the most confident when he was looking out for that result, but he had nothing to worry about. He can definitely get that weight. It's probably wise not to overload him at this age, because he's going to have lots of competitions to go where he's going to go way beyond that. This is about development more than anything else, and being a rookie, he is in his own category, so he's got his own set of medals to be aiming for as well as everyone else is.
The bar is now loaded for their second attempt, representing Boss.
So Mohamed Arabi Kamel Ibrahim lifts 60 successfully. And can Hossem Omar Amin Nada of Egypt continue in the same line that's been laid out by his teammate? Going for 100 here. It's worth pointing out that if he can get all of his marks in, he'll probably end up with around 300, or above 300 in terms of the total lift, and that would be, depending how the rest do, obviously quite competitive in terms of the total lift. But he'll be hoping from a competitive sense at the very least that there'll be a few misses further on in this group. So here he comes for 100.
And the result of the lift is
Hossem Omar. Yes, he's got that. That is 3 white lights for Hossem Omar Amin Nada, and this is turning out to be a very good morning for everybody so far. He's cleared at 100. Gets the 3 white lights, and so far nobody has had anything to worry about. So next up for Kenya, it is Gabriel Wanjiku, 135. He cleared in round 1, and this is an attempt at 140. And we can say likewise for him. Good prospects if he clears the decks of doing very well in the total lift. This an attempt at 140. Wanjiku, just to reiterate, 5th in the African Games in 2015 in Brazzaville. He's competed in 2 America's Open Championships, 2 Commonwealth Games. But that 5th in Brazzaville and the 5th this year in St. Louis, his best results. Now 140. I was just wondering about that. All against him on the press, which was not stable, unfortunately.
Spot loaders, please load the bar to a rack height 16 to 145 kilograms.
And Wanjiku, well, that might have just been one lift that caught him out, and it's achievable when he comes back on. And he's got it pressed, and actually the call from the centre referee was really early. Had seen enough, knew that it was going to be voted down, and then the spotters came in just right before the end, so that terminated the lift in any event. So that is the first miss so far. Next up, Aukun Manga Belinga of Cameroon going for 145. And this is what I was saying, by the way, about Hosamama Aminata. We've had a miss, and if there are a few more to go, Aminata still will be looking to get his 3rd lift in, but it would give him a very strong position going into the A group in terms of the total lift. So, Aukun Manga Belinga, it is his major championship debut. Different competitors take different routes into this sport, and he has started it certainly at quite an advanced stage compared to others who would have started in their teens. He's a little beyond that now. $145. He's got that lifted. Good lift. 3 white lights for Aukun Manga Belinga. Kept that nice and tidy, and all of the referees satisfied with what they've seen. No reason why they wouldn't be.
The bar is now loaded. For their 2nd attempt, representing Libya, Ibrahim Ahmad.
Ibrahim Otman now for Libya, having cleared 140 in the opening round. This for 147, and again this would be for not just the lead in this, but also the total lift. Othman made his major championship debut 4 years ago in the previous African Championships in Algiers and finished in 4th place. Needs this to be in with a chance, any kind of a chance to be up in 4th again, and he has got this at 147. It's 3 white lights. It is a good lift for Ibrahim Othman, and he leads and joyous at doing so. At the end of this second round in Group D, there is obviously so much more to go in this, but this is a very positive start. How high can he go? How close to the medals can he get? So we go into the final round with Ibrahim Othman leading on 147. Akun Mangabalinga, second for Cameroon, 145. And third in 135, as you saw, Gabriel Wanjiku, despite missing his second attempt. That's the only miss so far. 9 out of 10 lifts have been good today. So Mohamed Arabi, Kamel Ibrahim, having set 2 lifetime bests today, is now going for his third, and it's 65 in what's been a brilliant morning for him. And you consider the time they've had to be here, which would be around 7 a.m. I'd have thought. Haha, yes, he's had a perfect Sunday morning. That's really great. 55, 60 and 65. And he will have a lot to be thankful for. But we should be praiseworthy towards him, because he's done everything he set out to, and really I think he's got the strength where he could have gone a lot heavier than that. And that 65 is his third lifetime best of the day. The other thing that's worth pointing out, outside of the Middle East and North Africa, the Arabic weekend being Friday and Saturday, meaning this is the start of a working week here. Hossam Omar Aminada in the next gen category. 105 is his target here. So if he takes this, he goes into the lead in terms of the total lift, and there's only 2 who could overtake him if he's successful, referring to Group B only. So this for 105, and this to bring him to 300 in terms of the total lift, and this would be a very useful, fruitful debut. He's got it. 3 white lights as well for Hossam Omar Aminada. He goes to 105, and that is 300 in terms of his total lift. Hosamoma Amin Nada and Mohammed Kamel Ibrahim have hit all their targets today. They will get their own set of medals for the next gen and for the rookie. And the future for Egypt is looking quite bright. Gabriel Wanjiku for Kenya, 135 he got in the opening round and missed 140, which definitely affects him in terms of the total lift. And he'll stay third whether he gets this or not, with Group A still to come. So Wanjiku for 140.
No lift, stop sequence.
Press sequence it was, stop sequence as well for him. As a result of that, 135 is where he finishes, but he was pitching himself to be third in this group, and that is where he has ended up. 140 has on 2 occasions just proven to be beyond him. Last time there was a real struggle in terms of the press, and it was terminated early. And same here, the moment that it started dropping, that was the end of that.
The bar is now loaded for their third attempt, representing Cameroon, Akun Manga Belinga.
Akun Manga Belinga for his final attempt, 148. To take the lead in Group B, to take a considerable lead in terms of the total lift. Adding 3 onto his best mark so far. And this to go way beyond 400 in terms of the total lift.
And the result is
Manga Belinga gets all 3 lifts in. He is 3 for 3. He goes to 433 in the total lift. He takes the lead in the African Championship. And 433 is a very good tally in the total lift to bring into Group A. He has a very good chance of a medal. He'll definitely be in the medals. If not necessarily leading, he would be in second place for a long way going into the final round of Group A. He is well clear at the moment. Only Othman in this group can now overtake.
The bar is now loaded for the final attempt of the Group B session, representing Libya, Abdrahim Othman.
And here is the final lift of the group. Abdrahim Othman for Libya going for 152, this to regain the lead in the African Championship and to take a good lead alongside Manga Balinga, just a couple of kilos beyond him in terms of the total lift, and they'll be our top two for a long time in that. So Abdrahim Othman, 152 for a good lead going into Group A in both this and the total lift. 2-1, that was good. And that is 439 in terms of the total lift. He leads that by 6. And Othman, well, he's hit all his targets today. Lifetime bests all over the place. 3 lifetime bests in a row for him. Start to the day, 137 was the figure which he'd held for a few years, and now he is 15 kilos beyond that, up to 152. So that's Group B. Othman leading 152, Balinga second 148, Wanjiku third 135, and in terms of the total lift, Othman 439, Balinga 433, and Hossam Omar Aminada 300. And it was very good for him to get his 3 lifts in because, again, he's got a good chance of still being in the medals going to the final round of Group A in terms of the total lift.
The bar is now loaded for their first attempt representing Zambia, Richard Lubenza.
Here's who we have coming up in Group A. Starting off with Richard Lubanza with 140 for Zambia, 152 the best mark, so we'll be going through a few before the potential is there for anybody to overtake in the African Championship. Richard Lubanza up now, 145 is his lifetime best for Zambia, the 21-year-old. Eighth in the Commonwealth Games, where he lifted 100.
1 minute remaining.
Lives in Lusaka. Hopefully, family, wife Cecilia, son Thomas watching on from home. Very good morning to you. He began in this sport at the age of 10 in Matero and Lusaka. So Richard Lubanza, 140 cleared. That's a nice start for Lubanza. A very capable start for him. And he immediately goes into third position.
Spot loader, please load the bar to rack height 14,147 kilograms.
Well, this is nice and positive for Lubanza, who was 5th in Brazzaville in 2015.
Bar is now loaded for their first attempt representing Iraq, Mohammed.
Mohammed up now, and a real veteran of the sport. Fourth in the 2004 Paralympic Games in Athens, 9th in Beijing 4 years later. He was 5th in the Asian Games in 2018, 6th in the European Open Championships in 2007. Been a regular in the circuit for very, very many years. Eighth in the 2010 World Championships, going here for 147, which should put him right up into the top of the standings at this early stage in Group A. Fifth in the Asian Para Games in Guangzhou in 2010.
No lip, stop, sequence.
Well, I'm afraid the stop sequence from 2 of the 3 referees has stopped him in his tracks for the moment. He's going to have to reconsider from here where he goes. Unfortunately.
15,155 kilograms.
Silver in the West Asian Para Games he was, by the way, in Khor-Fakkan in 2017 behind Shadi Issa, our old friend. Five years ago.
For their first attempt representing Cuba, Uniel Suarez Vargas.
Uniel Suarez Vargas of Cuba. The 32-year-old going for 155, which in the open competition would be the lead, 160 as lifetime best. Thirteenth in the World Championships last year. Lifted 160 there. He's from Bayamo in Cuba. Then subsequently a brilliant bronze in St. Louis in the Americas Championships this year. And that is a good lift, and he leads here now. Marvelous. Well, that puts him in prime position. Certainly in a good chance of a medal straight away in the open competition.
The bar is now loaded for their first attempt representing Ghana, Emmanuel Nidetioko.
Emmanuel Nidetioko of Ghana up now. 168 is what he's aiming for. 5th in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham earlier this year. 175 his lifetime best. Aiming here for 168. Bronze in the Manchester World Cup, again in England in 2020. And 4th the following year. Bronze in the Lagos World Cup event in 2019. And he was the flag bearer for Ghana in last year's Paralympic Games in Tokyo, where he finished in 7th.
Remaining.
168 for Emmanuel Oku. So has he executed that well? Yes, he has. 2-1 in his favour. And originally he was looking at 160, and quite wisely him and his team said, let's go a bit higher. 168, he leads by a large amount, by 13 from Uniel Suarez. In terms of the African Championship, he leads by 21. Very good clean lift.
The bar is now loaded. Looking to break the Legends Africa.
On we go. So 185, Shaban Ibrahim of Egypt is looking to set a new Legends African record. Shaban Ibrahim for Egypt. Here he comes, the man from Cairo, who since 2000 has been winning major championship medals, the Paralympic champion from 2004. 195 is his lifetime best. Two World Championship silvers, 3 bronzes, and the 2004 Paralympic champion. Tokyo, he didn't get to compete in, but the previous 5 Paralympic Games he did, and he medalled in all of them. The Paralympic champion, Athens 2004. Back to winning World Championship bronze in Tbilisi last year. $185. It's a strong start for him for a Legends African record, and he has got it. Good lift. Powerful. Shaban Ibrahim going to 185. For the 2003-2009 African champion. How good did he do that?
For his first attempt representing us, Mahmoud Abdia.
Egypt 1, it could be Egypt 2. Mahmoud Attia is going for something very high. Lifetime best of 194. This for 190 for the Paralympic silver medalist in Tokyo, African Championship bronze in Algiers in 2018.
The bar is loaded for his first attempt representing Mahmoud Attia.
So Mahmoud Attia, 190. Something is not quite, I think, as his coach would wish. So he'll go back into the wings. Maybe it's a different weight they're looking for. And they will re-prepare. It's an interesting situation, I have to say, but in Mehel Izzat, they have one of the best coaches around. And there's something that he's not quite happy with. 185. Ah, that's it. That's it. Going down to 185. Originally, they registered at 185, but as you'll have seen mentioned in the graphics quite a lot, 190 was listed. And either they had reset that back to 185 and the message got lost somewhere along the way, or it's a snap decision from them. Anyway, it's still 9 off his lifetime best, which for a man of his abilities, what he's achieved in the past 4 years, finishing 5th in a thrilling World Championship final last year, that is still quite high. Attia lifted 186 in the opening round in Tbilisi and was lying in 3rd position. But Bonnie Gustin glided past everybody. 210, won it. Attia didn't get beyond 186, lifted 192, 195, but didn't improve his situation. So can he start strongly here? It'll be Egypt 1 and 2, both in 185. Ibrahim has made it. Attia has made it as well. 185 for Mahmoud Attia. Egypt have got 4 entered in this competition, but only 2 can end up in the podium, as you will be aware. And Mesut Izzat has much reason to be pleased. If there's a man who's had a busier week than him, I'd love to meet him. Or woman, indeed. Been on stage more often than Frank Sinatra. That's one for their kids on a Sunday morning, isn't it? Ibrahim and Attia, 185, leading the way, and Emmanuel Oko of Ghana on 168 in 3rd place. So we go into round 2. Richard Lubanza got 140, this for 145. Currently lying in 7th position and 6th in the African Championship. Ibrahim and Attia are both going for 190 in this 2nd round. It's only his third major championship, fifth in the Africans in 2015. And the man from Lusaka is back here again. So if he gets this, he leads in terms of the total lift out of those in Group A. It still would be quite a bit behind those who've had all of their lifts in Group B. 439 is the lead in that at the moment. Abraham Othman from Libya. So Lubanza for 145. He would stay sixth in the African Championship. I'm afraid to say he does stay there anyway, because that's no lift for the stop sequence, and it was two of the referees and the side referees who voted that down, and that will invariably be because there wasn't enough contact or no contact, and that is most obvious from the side. And if all three referees say the stop sequence was wrong, then you've got it seriously bad. But it was 2-1 against Lubanza. Yeah, there's not enough contact there, quite simply, and this is perhaps an angle that will show that there was hardly any, because there has to be. On the chest has to be a serious step. You see the excellent branding that we've had here for Cairo 2022. Lovely venue, and the event logo with the pyramids that a few this week have had a chance to get to visit. It's been a very long, intense schedule, more than I think we've seen for a continental championship, certainly in recent years. Certainly in the modern sequence of these events. The Iraq national coach, Stana Ghanim, with him. So 155, and this would put him up into 4th place in the open competition alongside Junior Suarez, who's up next. No lift, I'm afraid, all three, and it is the press sequence. So Mohammed. This is out at 155, and he's missed out his 2 attempts so far. And that's a problem. He is in danger of a wipeout and of missing his 3 lifts and not registering a mark.
For a second attempt representing Cuba,
So Junior Suarez of Cuba goes next, 155 in the previous round, this for 162. But he would stay 4th in the open competition. This is for a new lifetime best, 160. It's what he's achieved previously, the America's bronze medalist this year. 4 major championship medalists out of the 11, and the man from Bayamo is one of those. So 162 for Junior Suarez. So far, nobody's been successful in this second round, which, in terms of the total lift, is good news for everybody in Group B, who's riding high. Junior Suarez. This would be a big help for him, but he hasn't got it either. It's the stop sequence and the press sequence as well, actually. You can just see those lights in the small screen. That was at ground level, the different lights, the orange light for the stop sequence and purple for the press. Two of the referees had voted him down for the press and 3 for the stop. So it's whatever the majority decision is that will show up on Eurographics, where you're watching from. So again, he's not got it, and still nobody's been successful in this round, astonishingly. That's not what any of us would have expected so far, truthfully. Manuel Nititi Oku of Ghana. 168 in the opening round, this for 173, which is 2 off his lifetime best. Seventh in the Paralympic Games in Tokyo. Good to qualify, I have to say, with the whatever happened with Belisi, which he was in the entry list, but we didn't get to see him compete. I suspect it was more the arrival than anything else. But anyway, 173, which would keep him strongly in third position in the Open competition and the African Championship. Good lift for Emmanuel Oku for Ghana. He's in the bronze medal position for now, and actually in a very good position for that. I think he may well end up in the podium for the first time in his career. 3 white lights for Emmanuel Oku. Well, that was just impressive, you have to say. I mean, the only person to have so far achieved 2 successful lifts in Group A. Now, what it does mean is that our current leader in the total lift, Ibrahim Otman of Libya, can still be overtaken. He's on 439. So another attempt at a Legends African record for Shaban Ibrahim, who broke it in the previous round and going for a new one of 190. But this would be the lead as well, more significantly. Currently in a share of the lead with Mahmoud Attia. So right now they're both looking at a head-to-head playoff for the gold, if neither of them are successful for the rest of the competition, or if they're both successful in this round. Shaban Ibrahim, the 2004 Paralympic champion, 5 Paralympic medals, 5 World Championship medals. He was 5th in 1998. Every Worlds he's been at since then he's medalled at, including bronze in Belisi at the end of last year. African champion in 03 and 09, in a previous set of African Championships. Arab Championship winner in 2007. Just looking at a series of results, and that may actually have been just a one-off event, but significant in its own right, obviously. Shaban Ibrahim, 190, and that is the lead. And it's a new Legends African record as well. Goes into the gold medal position outright. Mahmoud Attia can now only seek to replicate that. But Shaban Ibrahim, with his coach, Mesut Izzat, goes out in front.
Bar is now loaded. For their second attempt, representing Mas, Mahmoud Attia.
So now, Mahmoud Attia for Egypt. Coming out on his own. Where's his oh, there's his coach. The hardest working man in show business, Mesut Izzat. Exit stage left, enter stage right. Fighting his way through the crowds to be the man for his men. So he's already seen Shaban Ibrahim lift 2 out of 2. Total lift currently 375. Mahmoud Attia looking to go level on 190, and again would be equal in terms of the total lift 375. Worth reminding that Ibrahim Othman of Libya still leads that 439, and Akun Manga Blinga of Cameroon in second and 433. And the man who had been third with 300, Hosim Amar Aminada. Well, he will get a whole lot of medals for next gen, but he's now been knocked down to fifth in the total lift. He had a total of 300, but he's already been surpassed by Ibrahim and Oku here, and they both have one lift to go. Attia, who's middle lift of the three. 190, this for the joint lead alongside Shaban Ibrahim. It'll be Egypt 1 and 2. And it's Egypt 1 and 1. Ibrahim and Attia share the lead on 190 in the African Championship. Share the lead on 375 in the total lift. Attia and Ibrahim holding the advantage perfectly even, of course. In the old days, it would have gone down to the head-to-head body weight prior to this year, and that would have been Ibrahim leading by 200 grams. Mahmoud Attia is 4 off his lifetime best. Ibrahim and Attia both leading for Egypt, both on 375 in total lift, and currently in the bronze medal position, Emmanuel Niteti Oku of Ghana, and I think that should be good enough for the African Championship bronze medal. Richard Lubanza is currently in 6th in Africa, this for 147, and that would put him, I would estimate, 6th in the African Championship, which is where he currently is anyway. 7th in the open competition, which are the markings that you will always see, but we are at the African Championships overall, and there is quite obviously more kudos being the African champion. So Lubanza, 147. Missed at 145 in the second round, but is keeping his path going. Lubanza then. That stop sequence, I think, will have been closely watched, and they've all voted him down for it.
Stop sequence.
140 is best. Lubanza finishes 5 kilos off his PB. Missed 145 to equal his lifetime best, and then missed 147 to set a new one. Well, he'll end the competition in 6th place in the African Championship. Was unable to surpass the best of Group B, but he did get one on the board, which was important, and it is important for Mohammed of Iraq to do the same now, having not been able to register a weight yet. So 155 his target. Fourth in Athens in the Paralympic Games there 18 years ago. Tana Ghanim will have been going through it quite vividly, and he still is by the looks of it. West Asian Games silver medalist 5 years ago. This is what happened to him in the Asia Oceania Championships 4 years ago. Wipeout, didn't register a mark, and a fate he is trying to avoid now. Mohammed, 155. Well, it's one he definitely needs at this stage, and it has come. Finally. Well, he started 147 and missed it, kept going in his path, and now he wraps up with 155. So he is 4th alongside Suarez in the open competition. At last. At last. No publicity, please. 2-1 in his favour. Now, probably if he'd got 155 in the previous round, maybe he would have been going for 160 now, but that is around what his overall target would have been.
For the third attempt, representing Cuba,
Uniel Suarez for Cuba, going for 162 for his final attempt, having got 155 in the opening round and missed 162 in round 2. Well-earned bronze medal in the Americas Championship. Cuba have sent a good-sized team here, which is very welcome to see. And there's, out of the 4 continental championships that we've had this year, this is the one which has had the most representation from outside the host continent. 162, Junior Suarez. So this for fourth outright. He's alongside Mohammed, tied for that at the moment, and that's a good lift. 3 out of 3 for Junior Suarez. It's a lifetime best as well. It had been 160. So we have 3 left to lift. Suarez, very successful. We know who our 3 medalists are. It just depends on the order. And we know who's going to win the bronze. So for Ghana, Emmanuel Ni Teti Oku. So, there's quite a bit at stake here. He's got the African Championship bronze and the Open competition bronze. And because the top 3 are all from Africa, then there'll be a double set of medals for our top 3. 190 right now is the tie for gold. Obviously, because we have a tie right now, then we may have a 4th person on the podium, and Oku actually would love to see a tie between the 2 men from Egypt, because Oku then gets a silver medal, certainly off the back of what we've seen already this week. That's something that's not in his control, so he just should go and do his lift. This lift to 176 by 1 kilo would be a new lifetime best, and if he gets it, he goes into the lead in terms of the total lift. He would go above 500. Crowd are well enthused for him. Oku, 176 for a new lifetime best. It's a good lift. He goes into the gold medal position. In terms of the total lift, he wins the African Championships bronze minimum. Oh, Emmanuel, praise be, 176. And that's a lifetime best, and it's a total lift of 517. The total lift now, Ottman second, 439. Manga Balinga third, 433. And they will only stay there if Ibrahim and Atia both miss their final upcoming attempts, and that would mean a shootout anyway. And we're going to 197. We have a world record attempt. Legends world record attempt from Shaban Ibrahim of Egypt for 197, the former Paralympic champion. Both he and Mahmoud Atia are going for 197 in a bid to win the African Championship gold. If they both get it, if they both miss it, it is a head-to-head shootout between the two, and you know the rest. And Ibrahim has got a lot of time. So they're both going for 197. They can both tie this. And it would obviously mean as well they'll both be tying in terms of the total lift as well. If they both get it, it would both be a tie at the top of the total lift. And that has not happened since the total lift came in. for a new Legends World record and for the lead in the African Championship. Shaban Ibrahim of Egypt, who has had such a tremendously successful career anyway up to this point. He will claim a medal. At the moment it's a share of the gold. And Ibrahim, it is no lift at 197. Stop sequence from 2 of the 3 referees. And he misses out this time. 2-1 against. He ends on 190, and you saw the signal for a lift challenge from his coach, Mesut Izzat, and that has been turned down. The jury members who were voting on this lift at the time of the lift said the same thing. We don't get the scores to that, but it is obviously a majority against. And this is where we are. And this is where you are. And this could be the gold medal winning lift from Mahmoud Attia. If not, then both he and Ibrahim are locked on 190, and they will have to go for another lift of 190. If it is missed, by the way, then neither will claim a medal in the total lift. Oku leading the total lift at present, 517. Silver at the moment, Ibrahim Othman of Libya, 439. And the man who's waiting desperately to see what happens with this, 3rd in the total lift. On his way to a bronze right now, Aukun Manga Balinga of Cameroon, 433. Mahmoud Attia going for gold in the African Championship, in the Open Championship, and to win both total lifts. If not, then he and Ibrahim are coming back on stage to duke it out again for the gold. 1 additional lift each. Attia will want to end it now. So this is it. 197. Attia for the win. Oh, he's missed it as well. So he and Ibrahim are tied on 190. It was on the press sequence. So they will come out again. An attempt at 190 apiece. They both miss out in the total lift and the medals. So victory in the total lift goes to Oku, 517, Othman 2nd, Manga Balinga 3rd. Attia and Ibrahim are coming out again. And they will both lift again at 190.
Head-to-head between Mahmoud and Shaban.
And a reminder, if you've not been with us for the other Continental Championships this year, yeah, you just got stuck there. That didn't go all the way up anyway, so that was terminated early. Didn't get the complete lockout, so it's a head-to-head, which was the intention for the first 2 championships this year. But there was an opening for the 2 competitors to say, a la the Olympic high jump final. Bachin and Tamberi, well, no, we'd like to share the medal. And that happened every single time there was a tie in the African and, sorry, we're at the Americas and the Asian Championships earlier this year. So Attia's team, again, they put a lift challenge in, as was the case for Shaban Ibrahim, and obviously it's the same team, being Egypt, the same coaching crew. So they're certainly splashing out the Egyptian pounds this morning.
For the next attempt,
So, the head-to-head lifters going ahead. We can take it that that lift challenge was turned down. Ibrahim Shaban and Mahmoud Atia are both coming out again for lifts of 190. Ibrahim Shaban has already cleared 190 today.
1 minute remaining.
It's worth pointing out that what he was going for, you think of all the success he's had in his career, all those Paralympic and world medals, and that attempt at 197 was for a lifetime best. So here he goes for 190, and this the shootout for the gold medal. If it's the same result from both, then the gold will be shared. 15 seconds to go. Shaban Ibrahim at 190.
The result is the gold.
Yes, he's got it. 3 white lights. He will get a gold medal. We'll know very shortly if it is the gold medal. Good lift, 3 out of 3. And that, of course, equals the Legends World Record he set earlier today. So Shaban Ibrahim will be on the top step of the podium. Will he be sharing it with Mahmoud Atia? And how proud would you be if you were Mesut Izzat and not only did you have 1 gold medalist from the one event, but 2 gold medalists from the one event. This to tie the gold medal for Mahmoud Atia alongside Shaban Ibrahim. So Atia for 190. Ibrahim has got 190. This lift has to be successful for Atia to share the gold medal. If not, it is silver outright for him, and Ibrahim wins. If Atia gets it, they both win. Atia 190. He's already done it today. He's got that raised. And Egypt get 2 gold medals. Ibrahim and Atia finish joint top, and with the same coach, Mesut Izzat. What a result for Egypt in Cairo. Well, we'll have had times quite often where we'll have had 1 and 2 in the podium and the same coach, the same nationality. I'm not sure we've ever had it before where, I can't think of a sport we've had it before. It must have happened, but not in this sport, where we've had 2 who have tied for the gold from the same country. and the same coach on stage alongside them. Ibrahim Shaban and Mahmoud Attia. Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Attia share the gold medal for Egypt. Next up, Emmanuel Niteti Oku of Ghana with 176. Next up, from an African point of view, was Ibrahim Otman of Libya. And next up in the open competition and fourth was Uniel Suarez Vargas. So in terms of the total lift, that has been won by Emmanuel Oku of Ghana. He will get the gold for that. It will be silver for Ibrahim Otman of Libya. And Okun Manga Balinga has had the longest wait of anyone for Cameroon, because he will get the bronze on 433. Ibrahim and Attia both finished, as you see, with a total lift of 375. But outside of those medals, so there is no additional head-to-head for that. Do they get to play the Egyptian anthem twice? Don't think so. The victory ceremony is on the way. So, victory ceremony for the men's 72 kilo final, and we've had our head-to-head shootout, and we have two gold medalists from Egypt. Now there's a different fourth placer in terms of the African Championships and the Open Championship, and that will mean we will have two victory ceremonies, because when there's a tie in the medals, then the fourth placer is promoted to bronze, which is another new innovation. this for the open competition.
The medals will be presented by
And it is the head of the local organising committee here, and from the
magnificent, the intelligent, the amazing
Egyptian
Dr.
Paralympic Committee Executive Director, Dr. Hawaida Mundi, presenting the medals here.
For the regional open men's 72 kilogram category goes to Cuba's Uniel Suarez Vargas.
So, bronze to the Cuban, Uniel Suarez. Lifetime best of 162 achieved to get him the bronze medal in the open competition. He cleared 162. Manuel Oku get the silver for Ghana, clearing 168, 173 and 176, and he wins the total lift as well with a total of 517. Bronze for Cuba, silver for Ghana, and gold for Egypt. Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Attia, who will get his gold medal first. Highest lift of 190, which he lifted twice, including the head-to-head lift at the end, the shootout between Attia and Ibrahim. Both cleared it, so both get the gold for Egypt. Shaban Ibrahim getting the gold too. Both missed their third attempt of 197. Both came back for a fourth attempt of 190, and both got it. So Egypt win both golds. Here's one playing of the Egyptian anthem. Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Attia taking the gold medal jointly, 190 for Egypt. Emmanuel Niteti Oku for Ghana, 176 the silver. And Uniel Suarez, the bronze for Cuba, 162. And that in the Open Championship.
Let's get one more round of applause for our regional open 72 kilogram category. Please remain seated for the regional men's 72 kilogram category.
And the African Championship ceremony is on the way. So now the African Championship ceremony for this men's 72 kilo final.
Presenting the award,
Mahmoud Abdel Aziz, the General Director of the Ministry Youth and Sport, is presenting the medals here. And well, what a bonus for Othman Abrahim that there was a tie in the top three, because it opens the door as nowadays every medal has to be allocated. So if there's a tie, that allows the fourth placer up into bronze, and that's what's happened in this scenario to Abrahim Othman of Libya, who was in Group B, lifted 140, 147 and 152. He also wins the silver in the total lift. Bronze to Aukun Manga Belinga of Cameroon, who I should tell you finished 5th in the African Championship. It is silver again, as it was in the open competition, for Emmanuel Ni Teti Oko of Ghana, and he wins the total lift, incidentally. Went up to 176, also lifted 168 and 173, and those are 3 lifetime bests that he has achieved today. Oh, sorry, his last one was by 1 kilo. He was originally looking to start at 160 and went to 168 instead, and that was very wise. And a tie for the African title. Gold medals going to Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Atia, both of Egypt, for clearing 190. Shaban Ibrahim, "22 years after his first major championship medal, the silver at Sydney 2000, he is the African champion alongside Mahmoud Atia. We have 2 African champions, both from Egypt, Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Atia. 190 lifted by both men. Ghana the silver, Libya the bronze. 2 more men's finals to come, and they'll be starting very soon. The men's up to 107, the over 107 here in Cairo.